We're the Noise All-Stars. Tongo Eisen-Martin featured today with us, and we're happy to be here. Hope you enjoy the music. Thank you. One, two, three.
Not everybody who's driven with me is still alive. Also that I like my drinks neat bottled and in the bus stop. Also that we drowning in precinct paper, department store floor plans and applications to the moon. We can change the color of our snot. From gifted to heart attack and tell you about ashes, but where all these angels coming from, smelling like the cigarette that fails. And why? Why is a man on the safe side, these headlights freezing up? You got nothing to say at my funeral, I'll speak on your behalf, heroin in my smile. Mount made a flatland robbery among some things on my mind. The last store run in the name of shared afterlife. Friday to the filter, I'ma talk tale on earth. But here's to that angel that never appeared to America. Tonight a dog paddling a batch of hangovers looking for a home. You know, a lion wouldn't have lived this long. That's my human when fences speak. Holding a pair of rambling dice that got unique tempers and young souls that say, shut up about our city. Here entitlements crash over a coast while a lot of streets teeth are in pieces. There's reservoir art on the faces of stragglers. There's sad news from back home that mean we have to grow up on his behalf. Stumble back to a car full of last stand. The truth is stale, but still liquor. Mission Street will be proud of me. I'm a mural man. I'm most organized. Remember when my lungs would wake up last, walking all morning if it was worth it, man. I'm 3 decades homeless. And reservoir art is all I ever see. And I'm 2,000 miles from my first fight. Maybe no one really survived. Maybe I wrote my first poem for no reason. There were hammers in my cradle, which made some people scared to check on me. Cause God would have a devil and State Street would have a resurrection. And I'd be a menace. Menace to veins that the city protects with precinct flesh. Hey, you know people actually work and marry here. The sun actually comes up. Have you heard the one about ghetto dwellers? Bang, they all duck. Well, look what the heathen drug in. What is that, my bullet? Who is that, your son? Have you heard the one about last names? Did you know that late night talk is the car door to the soul? I don't think we've been here before in some type of criminal heaven, controlling every headlight for miles. If the journey has pain, it's the way I came. My name is on this sea. Royalty among minds will be my right hand. But be a brand new hammer, wolf trapping at the speed city's end. Interpretations of shot men, you know hands are the only place souls are actually found and fists get a road trip too. Hey, maybe you should mind me. Or maybe I paid too much attention to this black coat as I was growing up in the wrong lit room. At least the walls was nice guys, at least I had this sea. At least I got this ocean when the words freezing. Central time is up when my family relapses in the suicidal neighborhoods. They can't depend on me. When black children are sad, when there are guns everywhere, when death is here and I'm a new kind of nearsighted and she's a new kind of lovely death is. Watch the front yard passes, people getting beat up. I say I'm not paranoid enough. You got a taste for violence. I've winked at 3 funerals. The Lord gave his only begotten temper to me. Death knows me by nickname. I call her nothing cute. Lord, let me see the enemy in my circle. Let me see that the enemy is my circle. Let my circle kill me. Let me not stay dead. See, I know who I am down to the street signs. Streets pass my life back and forth. Pass me in the gambling jokes and cigarettes. And here I am thinking this is what you call driving at night. Or this is what you call 35 miles away. Freeway and all smeared all over the city. Tell me how you write letters with a building on top of your head. With a building feasting on you, with 1,000 backs turned to your kids, without her subtle gesture to interpret. In the middle of a backfired resurrection with a president who was out to kill you. We only got one gun to speak of, still I sleep good in August and nobody talks back in traffic. An interestingly handsome bastard had some anti-violent song. I mean, I'm like a hi-hat on its own. Motherless, don't mess up a child. Project times become tires, choir suck down liquor, 5 floors become audience for a dancing killer. You just a dancing killer. Mid-water walkout line all over the state. I'm saying the bullet become a cheapskate, body to the bargain, handsome but hard in prison air. Spanish sales black as well, run tell about my level. And what you see me do the water, and what you see me do the men. The last of a dying group of friends, another city ends. violence rises down, or still life is just getting warmed up, or mommy life is looking for a new church and ignoring all other suggestions, or folktale writers have now made up their minds as to who is going to be their friends. You know, this is the worst downtown yet, and I've borrowed a cigarette everywhere. I'm taking many a walk to the back of a bus. They're lit on out the back of a storyteller's prison sentence, then on out the back of slave scorns, but this is my comeback face. I left my watch on the public bathroom sink and took the toilet with me. Threw it at the first bus I saw, eating single mothers half alive. It flew through the bus line number, then on out the front of the White House. Say hopefully you find comfort downtown, but if not, we brought you enough cigarette filters to make a decent winter coat. No special species of handshake, let's all know who's king and what's the lifespan of uniform cloth. This coffin needs to quit acting like those are birds singing. Rusty nails have no wings, have no voice other than that of a white world dying. Their book pages in the gas pump, catchy, isn't it? The way 3 nooses is the rule, or the way potato sack masks go so well with radio codes, or the way condemned Africans fought their way back to the ocean only to find waves made of 1920s burnt out piano parts, European backdoor deals, and red flowers for widows who spent all day in the sun mumbling in San Francisco. Red flowers, but was the color of a doctor visit there. Book titles in the streets, book titles like Hero, you make up that a zero, or Hey Fur Coat Lady, the president is dead, or Pay Me Back in Children, or they hung up their bodies in their own museums, and other book titles pulled from a drum solo. Hey, run here, hero, like the hiding place, all the bullets in 10 precincts know where to go, there's no heaven, or the other good idea in the sky. Politics means that people did it and people do it. Understand that when in San Francisco and other places that was never really there, I bet this ocean thinks it's an ocean, but it's not, it's just 6th and Mission Street. Don't know who's king of thin things, you know, like America, I'm proud to deserve to die. I'm gonna eat my dinner extra slow tonight in this police state candy dispenser you all call a neighborhood. No set of manners goes unpunished. Never mind the murderer's insomnia or the tea kettle preparing everyone for police sirens. And follow them to the station of my enemies. A cobalt tooth man pitches pennies at my mugshot negative. All over the United States there are toddlers in the rock. Now I see why everyone out here got in the big cosmic basket, and why blood agreements mean a lot, and why I get shot back at. I understand the psycho-spiritual refusal to write white history or take the glass freeway. White skin tattooed on my right forearm, ricochet sewage near where I collapsed into a rat-infested manhood. My new existence is living graffiti in the kitchen with a lot of gun cylinders to hack up. House of God in part, no cops in part. My body brings down the Christmas. The new bullets pray over blankets made from the old bullets. Pray over the 28th hours next beauty mark. Extrajudicial Confederate statue restoration. The waistband before the next protest poster. Hey, by the way, time is not an illusion, Your Honor. We'll save your desk for last. You are witty, Your Honor. You're moving money again, Your Honor. It's only raining one thing. Non-white cops and prison guard shadows reminded me of spoiled milk floating on an oil spill. The neighborhood making a lot of fuss over its demise. A new lake for a Black Panther party. Malcolm X's ballroom jacket slung over my son's shoulder. The figment of village. A new news to a new white preacher. All in an abstract painting of a president. They bought slavery some time, didn't it? The tantric speeches and military boasts and election Tuesday cards. You know, a cold-blooded study in leg irons. proof that some white people have actually fondled nooses, that sundown couples made their vows of love over opaque piece plastic and bold action audiences. The Medgar Evers second is definitely my favorite law of science. Fondle news clippings and primitive Methodists, my arm changes imperialisms. Simple policing versus structural frenzies, elementary school script versus even wider white spectrums, artless bleeding, and the challenge of watching civilians think at terrible rituals they have around the corner. They let their elders beg for public mercy. I'm gonna go ahead and sharpen these kids' heads and the arrows myself and see how much gravy spills out of family crest. Modern fans of war, what with their t-shirt poems and t-shirt guilt, and me having on the cheapest pair of shoes on the bus, I have no choice but to read the city walls for signs of my life. They are God. I'm not an I, I'm a black commons. Making tattoos at a bus. I mean, making tattoos all afternoon, trying to talk myself into seeing the decade through. Man, I must really be the devil's front man, staring at an empty bus that I imagine the fact carries paintings of people and man drunk behind the wheel has to choose between a black and white toilet. Every school in America on a California street that doesn't need a name nor California. And no one on the street has a job and therefore no one is there. I colored my oppressor's gun to dance floor for him in the same day the joke began. Walk on the bus seats is fine by me as long as I get to the front. And Tuesday is riding super downhill entertainment, a commotion in the ashtray. The day that jail quotas get filled to the day that the planet plays flat. And maybe a capitalist sets stadium seats on fire and calls it economic progress. The communists got plenty of time to finish their cigarette and lie to their balls. A killer lying down in front of a tank. I have a small statue built in my chest and also an anchor upside down in the air. Worried about the walls, I forgot that the ceiling was closing in on me too. That's my take on my alcoholism. Hunched over a meal I ate 5 years ago. That's my take on the look on my face. Curse got a little, took another step up the staircase, and for a second I forgot all occupants of the world, beginning with this house. Said I'm an action hero, Brush Street proportion. You know, rap music is the way to count blessings. The 80s were better than this fiction. I have a piece of fence messed through my skull. I'll be half eaten my entire life. Always walking beside myself with a gun in my head and another one pointed at passers-by. And it's like half of you, all of me. Walking in and out of myself, but I'm always happy to see you with a miraculous route you took through my threat. Honest pay, a knife in my arm. Honest pain in my chest, a broken lock on the monument. Tell you the truth, I forget what my hands look like, what I did with them, or what kind of third eye the handcuffs cut into my wrist. a tour guide through your robbery, I also am. A cigarette saying, look what I did about your silence. Ransom water and box spring gold, this decade is only for accent grooming, I guess. Ransom water and box spring gold, the corner store must die. War gangs, I guess, all these tongues rummage junk. You know, the start of mass destruction begins and ends in restaurant bathrooms that some people use and other people clean. Are you telling me it's a rag in the sky waiting for you? Yes, we've written the scene, we set the stage, we should have fit in. You know, warehouse jobs are for communists, but now more corridor and hallway have walked into our lives. Now the whistling is less playful and the barbed wire overcrowded too, my dear. If it is not a city, it is a prison. If it has a prison, it is a prison, not a city. When a courtyard talks on behalf of military issue, all walks take place outside of the body. Dear life to your left, the medieval painting to your right, none of this really makes an impression. Crop people living in thin air, you have 5 minutes to learn how to see through this breeze. When a mask goes sideways, barbed wire becomes the floor, barbed wire becomes the roof, 40 feet into the sky becomes out of bounds. When a mask breaks in half, mind which way the eyes go. Did you know they killed the world for the sake of giving everyone the same backstory? We watching Gary, Indiana fight itself into the sky. Old pennies for that wind feeling you get before the hood goes up and over your headache. Pennies that stick together, mocking all aspirations. I mean, Stuck Together Pennies was the first newspaper I ever read, along with the storefront dwelling army that always lets us down. Where the Holy Spirit favors the back room, souls in a situation that offer 100 ways to remain a loser. Souls watching the clock, hoping their eyes don't lie to sad people. Hey, what was he talking about again? The narrator asked the graveyard. Hey, 10 minutes flat, said the graveyard. The funeral only took 10 minutes, man. Never tell that to anyone again. You just gonna pin the 90s on me, all 30 years of them. Well, why should I know the difference between sleep and satire? Fell on our heads and we died right away. That building wants to climb up and jump off another building. These are downtown decisions somewhere on this planet. It's August 7th and we're running down the rest thinking one needs to come with me, man. What evaporated on Earth so that we could be sent back down?
Levin on the piano, Vincent De Jesus on the congas and bongo, excuse me. Genius Wesley on the drums, Tiny Lindsey on bass. I'm Danny Brown. We're the Noise All-Stars. Noise is my record store in San Francisco. Just had its 5th birthday. So thank you very much to everyone that's helped us get there. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's an honor today to have Tongo Eisen-Martin feature with us. Real honor. Yep. Okay. Yeah, let's do invitation and then we'll get into it. Invitation. Cool. All right. Sure.
apparently too much of San Francisco was not there in the first place. This dream requires more condemned Africans, or put another way, state violence rises down, or still life is just getting warmed up, or army life is looking for a new church and ignoring all other suggestions, or folktale writers have not made up their minds as to who is going to be their friends. You know, this is the worst downtown yet, and I've borrowed a cigarette everywhere. I've taken many a walk to the back of a bus that led on out the back of a storyteller's prison sentence, then on out the back of slave scars, but this is my comeback phase. I left my watch on the public bathroom sink and took the toilet with me, threw it at the first bus I saw, eating single mothers half alive. It flew through the bus line number, then on out the front of the White House. Hey, hopefully you find comfort downtown, but if not, we brought you enough cigarette filters to make a decent winter coat. A special species, a handshake. Let's all know who's king and what's the lifespan of uniform cloth. This coffin needs to quit acting like those are birds singing. Rusty nails have no wings, have no voice other than that of a white world dying. You know, their book pages in the gas pump catchy, isn't it? The way three nooses is the ruler, the way potato sack masks go so well with radio codes, or the way condemned Africans fought their way back to the ocean only to find waves made in 1920s burnt up piano parts, European backdoor deals, and red flowers for widows. We spend all day in the sun mumbling in San Francisco. Red flowers, but what's the color of a doctor visit there? Book titles in the streets. Book titles like Hero, You Make a Better Zero, or Hey Fur Coat Lady, the President is Dead, or Pay Me Back in Children, or They Hung Up Their Bodies in Their Own Museums, and other book titles pulled from a drum solo. Hey, run here, hero, live the hiding place. All the bullets in 10 precincts know where to go. There's no heaven nor any other good idea in the sky. Politics means that people did it and people do it. Understand that when in San Francisco and other places that was never really there. I bet this ocean thinks it's an ocean, but it's not. It's a 6th Mission Street, don't know who's king. King of thin things, you know, like America, I'm proud to deserve to die. I'm gonna eat my dinner extra slow tonight in this police state candy dispenser you all call a neighborhood. No set of manners goes unpunished, never mind a murderer's insomnia, or the tea kettle preparing everyone for police sirens. Manny Berry to play some keys and sing a few songs for us. Yes, sir. Yeah, bro. We're gonna live in on piano there.
Just be thankful with what you got. Just remember, just be thankful for what you got. A diamond in the back, sun Buddha, kicking the scene with a gasoline. Whoa. A diamond in the back, sun Buddha, kicking the scene with a gasoline. Whoa. And though you may not have a great big Cadillac, gains of wide walls, TV antennas in the back. And though you may not have
skyline and abandoned house talk to me. It said, young man, you are heroic at 10 years old. Among 20 generations of friends, your friends will free fall away, they will free fall up, they will free fall the walls. With 5th grade speed to industrial paint behind secondhand fences. Young man, use quick knife tones, be bone and brass, be last laugh music. You are always leaving, always one change of clothes from the door, a life in escape. A 2-floor skyline said, you the guy that dies in the middle, the friend more blues than skin. The face of cheap hotels schizophrenics can place with 90 mile per hour right eyes among dry heat killers once children. 3 feet high and roaming and repeating and aiming at cotton mirrors and hang on breathing walls. You were 10 years old, tagging along, yawning at well-lit violence, whistling 2-shop songs. You would be useful, you would be high and alone. Flying on a nephew dragon from a $20 family in a sky that calls itself just more soil around walls that are just walls, except these walls suggest you make wives out of highs and currency. Here the air's polite to sleepy glass, and then bullying walls, young man, you will come to admit that sometimes suicide is power, because some people live stronger as ghosts, and sometimes the afterlife empties billions of souls into objects like playground bullets and abandoned door frames. Even broken glass will prove it has voice too. They're 24 hours behind your back. Hey, look over your shoulder right now. Can you hear it? The sound of drums punching themselves out. The sound of piano parts learning between assassination attempts. Be bone and brass. Be bone enough for 2 souls. Be invincible again. Suffer red-eyed accents. Professional fingertips. Gifted victim. 6 in the morning. Be here the first month of probation. And shout at the wall. See these words that shouldn't be home. Look behind you again. Be invincible again. Be Winwood. Be a sad machete. Be her son. Be a thief. Steal his back. Laugh too long. Never look away. The afterlife will empty and walk you home.
Whatever. That is our job. Just be them things and flowers. Just be them things and flowers. And the sunshine. In the sunshine. Well, folks get down and folks move around in the sunshine. Well, folks get down and folks move around in the sunshine. And the sunshine. In the sunshine. In the sunshine, in the sunshine, my life, my life, my life, my life.
God can happen in 3 seconds. Not much heaven though. Here's a man before a fight. Leave me alone type character. Emerging from the penniless death of a one-way street fixer. A fancy way of saying I'm gonna make it even if I have to drive backwards. All I got is chord changes and 1,000 back end. Driving the street like I'm choking it. Car full of nephews. There hasn't been a sun since November and there hasn't been a street I can't choke to death. This city better back down. Hey, you see this gun on the table and something about steering until it all feels stable. Why wouldn't I protect everyone? On my death sleep late, my son better be quick. My daughter better shoot first because we fall for no one. You know, we fall for nothing, okay, the first thing you'll feel is the heat. This lady would tell me, trying to tell me about possession. And drink life neat is what I'm mostly hearing. Most of the world leaves me alone to breathe small like a giant, to go to jail every once in a while when the genocide kicks up in late May when politicians have too easy a time. I'm gassing backwards at a one-way street in honor of myself and in honor of you, you know, if you understand the nature of the world. How long I've been just like my father, one hell of a resemblance as the anxiety of the neighborhood. This is a crossroads or a crossroads narrative, or so much crossroads people get in the habit of turning back. No turn back, only to find themselves remembering me, but not my last words. A man before a fight should feel the heat. There's nothing to keep in mind. There's nothing to remember, really there's nothing to be. It's just this moment, then another, then stare, then it all becomes stable. Then the table legs go fuzzy and Friday's an unfamiliar face peeking in the window. It's cool to panic for a second, composure is wasted on your worst enemies. People are marked on that sidewalk, you the only thing life-size. Everybody knows this in the wire hanger empire. When the blood stops walking, the feeling isn't father enough to be permission to fold. You better swing one more time. You know that father of yours rose from the grave and said, just give me 5 more minutes. He said, running water is a myth. It's us who are running up, down, on side this water. And people don't rise from the grave, they not laid down neither. It's us who flip all around their body. So beware when the people around you look like they about to jump. It might be your time, you feel the heat. And when 4 walls demand to be 4 walls in the earth outside, mutes don't panic. No, don't try to recreate the earth outside. Don't tell jokes to yourself. Don't even talk disrespectfully to the 4 walls. Instead, unclench your fist and look and walk away. It might be heaven if you understand the nature of the world.
Tiny Lindsey on bass. Tongo Eisen-Martin reading with us. I'm Danny Brown. We're the Noise All-Stars. I'd like to bring back Grant Levin on the piano with us. It's one of the great things about being in a place with such a vibrant music scene. You know, there's so many great cats.
Guided by teeth goes the country. There's a cow's mouth on the flag. A peculiar notepad holds street life dear, but the writer's not here. He's somewhere talking to tombstones about the good old days and splashing reborn water on his latest facer. Wondering how his old gun is doing in the afterlife. Wondering how much depth trap is in those gas station knives. It gotta be $1 million a day on this concrete island. New engine in the moon why it never goes down. I mean, 72 straight hours of night, at least according to everyone's posture around here. 8:30 in the morning is really 30 minutes to closing. The city shuts down for a sleepy rat race. Elevator shoe shuffle to the nearest heaven. Laughing with rats the whole way up. There's scabs everywhere. In puddles of city and concentrated schools and TV lit warm rooms, the light reveals military fatigue when it hits just right. On the ties that are wrapped around the necks of lazy white guys, empire is too easy, baby. Tearing at the walls all summer if you feel like it. Best wait for a target to move and shooting back. Running for a tree line made of freeways. Wisdom says against a war machine on Tuesday you stand no chance, but may we be the last poor men to play it safe. Cow's mouth on the flag. You know, a politician raises his hand and the crowd shows their teeth. An oligarch raises his hand, little girls are not safe outside. You all high depressed and comrades in function. At 15 minutes of closing in the city, it survived another black rebellion. We just paying dues by trash fires, not just anybody can set. Don't you love how deadly things whisper in a moment and people kill like feathers fall when everybody's screaming inside. The writer knows that death is not a matter of dignity, rather humor in a house that smells like roach races. Nuclear percentages on torn stoves. I mean, here life never was. Just lazy matches and manic inhumanity. Hands rushing away from life towards stoves. What we doing here? Surviving for no reason in particular, cause nobody gone far today, nobody go far tomorrow. Trust me, hell and heaven cannot count. Strange gardens where secondhand clothes play, and concrete wishes to be human so that it could be a cannibal. When they find you drenched in drains, wish to be human so that they could be worthy arms for you to die in. They greet them all, grandson. Prepare for the day when every child is calm. And don't say we ghosts didn't write you a poem. Don't say we didn't dig your life. Remember the shotgun by the coat rack that everybody in the house knows how to use. Remember the tightrope made of needles for walking in between driveways and man-made best friends. Go ahead, grandson. Tune this street again. Never mind, this country kills musicians first. Broken neck night, scarred neck life. If these walls could write lyrics, they say, what's your angle? Angel eyes, 30 to 50 rounds pass by on the street with no daughters. This street has no sons. Just young prisoners of war in a racist city that means to make capital. And we know so much, we know it all. We were stood against walls. Who's on the third cross around here? Cow's mouth, salivating over the street. And that is the story of why we aim at teeth.
By the great Sonny Rollins. Capitalists eat until the world is blurry to them. And these streets is made of saliva. There's some people made of saliva too. They usually got on uniforms. While a crazy man spins round and round trying to make a record out of this mass production jungle, maybe I'll join him, count cash and cry. These streets is made of saliva and white sheets are worn by a building in which kids are supposed to learn how to read well. White sheets on the highway too. Another mayor needs their head on a pike, one down is just one down. You know, you tell all this to the masses, your teacher will pipeline you. They told me I was jewelry, they told me this is jungle. Well, maybe not jungle, more like 50 machine guns planted in the ground. It's raining faces again in California. What does it say about heaven? What does it say about the people you kill? Waiting lines got so exhausted, a million minds dropped all these faces at once. You know, if the fastest can read the lips of a giant talking in his sleep, we might as well make our demands in prison letters.
Today was born the most important trigger finger in the world. Today I begun counting down the pages between now and a pile of books by a tunnel. Chicago is gonna walk out of Chicago one day. Babies will drag street signs like old toys. Today the most important letter left prison. Babies will laugh at flags like faces that have disappeared. Maybe I'll join them. But for now, these streets have made us alive, and we raise half-full glasses to the basements that meant nothing. And the working poor who live there, we get shot. We get white sheets on California with a kitchen table like to talk as much as the walls. And romance on the porch consists of hard residing. I mean, this picture characters talk spit and know that they hard to kill. The kitchen table knows this. The porch is almost convinced that one down is just one down. This town is coming to town. A circus watching itself, half distracted, half suicidal. Thrilled children dressed as cops, thrilled children preaching and policing and intaking and hiring and snatching your money. This town's coming to town with tough trademarks to follow. Today I watch capitalism walk on water and people play dead so that they could be part of a miracle. Fell out of a bank window. You know, kitchens meant more to the masses back in the day, and before that we had no enemies somewhere in America. The prison bus is running on time. You gonna lose your job before a revolution here somewhere. I won't be home for breakfast. Everyone out here now knows my name, and I won't be turned against for at least 4 months. The cop in the picket line is a hard-working rookie. The sign in my hand's getting more and more laughs. It says the picket line got cops in it. I can take care of those windows for you if you want, but someone else got to go inside the gas tank. Well, it's clear to me and the rich people talk too much this year. Hey, why don't you go ahead and throw down that Marble Park bench? Everyone's looking up at you, know, get the Romans out of your mind. It may be a good night's sleep with a change the last 20 years of my life playing the instruments like punching the wall. What would you have me do? Replace the population, get brotherhood back to the winter, stop smoking cigarettes with the barely dead. You know they listen in on the Sabbath. Police called the police on me. There was a white candlestick beneath my detention. I ruined the soup again. Thought the judges, he took off his pilgrim robe behind the white people's door and more. Hey, I didn't get lucky, I got what was coming to me. He told, say, fight me back, the man said. Of course to himself, washing windows with a will to live, tin can on his left shoulder, enjoying the bright brand new light with all parties goers, both supernatural and supernaturally down to earth. What is this elevator? Traveling side to side like 1,000 bitter Polaroid pictures that you actually try to eat. All the furniture on this street nailed to the cement. Cheap furniture, but we have commitment. This morning the essay opens a conversation between enemies. Why? Because you control every grain of processed sugar between here and the poor man's border. Because in the tin can on my left shoulder, I can hear the engines of deindustrialization. You should get into painting, you know, tell lies more deeply. And this month I'm rooting for the trader, carting cement to my pillow. Here we will build them high again. Not talking much. And once you climb up the organ pipe, you know, to our apartment floor, I'm high again, not talking much. And once you climb up the organ pipe to our apartment floor, I'm high again, calling everything church, singing along to a courtyard, thanks to a horn player's holy pastime. I'm just putting a real jacket on it, you know, talking about a real 5 years. Keep memories like these in the pocket next to the tow receipt. That man lost a wager with the God of good causes. I mean, stood up for himself a little too late, maybe too early. I can still see 20 angles of his jaw zigzagging through the cold world of deindustrialization. There's an art to it. I will tell my closest friends one day.
I don't know about the rest of you guys. I'm feeling a little rusty after a 3-month hiatus from from gigging every night. It's a real pleasure and an honor to get to share the stage with these cats again. Man, I miss laughing. These past few months, man. Hasn't been much to laugh about, man. I just keep reading the news. Man. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Switch it up one more time again and invite Manny Berry back up to sing and play a little bit again with us. Grant Levin on piano there once more. Vincent De Jesus on bongo. Genius Wesley on drums. Tiny Lindsey on the bass. Tongo Eisen-Martin. I'm Danny Brown. Huge thanks to Sessions at the Boathouse, Rob and Bethany and Marcus and everybody for having us. Everybody listening and tuning in, thank you so much. You know, it's a real pleasure to play for you all. And until they figure all this out, I guess this will be what live gigs are. You know, we'll see you on the screen. You know. So, what's going on?
Mother, there's far too many of you crying, and brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we got to find a way to bring some loving here to stay. Father, we don't need to escalate. War is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we got to find a way to bring some loving here to stay. Well, picket lines and picket signs don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me and we will see. just because we wear our hair down long. You know we got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Well, pick your line and pick your sign. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me and we will see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, what's going on?
Capitalists dropped 10 tons of barbed wire onto my Tuesday shift. We shot back at their chimpanzee pilot for the sport. Contractor already smoked 3 cigars, only 1 hour into my court appearance shift. Supervisor likes the smell, says it reminds him of when he ran the streets, and all I remember is we shot back. A gated puppet dances along bars and jigs, says I'm the happy one of Legion. Meanwhile, kids commit childhood behind this wooden plaster joints. Wire dodgers under this silly puppet. A silly puppet dancing for white heaven like weapon is a jacket and precinct holds Friday hostage. We go through a fossil jaw and see a judge. The tunnel at the end of the light. I sleep until I'm woke by dry cereal and surrender. This holding cell only needs a giant panhandler's palm to shake us going men around. I'm breaking my fingers for my sister's bill collectors. Garage casket open. All third world parallels kill openly. Breaking my lungs for my sister's rent. I'm the sculptor of construction dust. I miss cigarettes by mid-morning. I miss Hennessy by sundown. I miss murder by inches. $5 bills. Cherish my days outside, always behind. Ain't no concentration in this courtroom. Just a bunch of B+ students living out their nightmares. How do I plead with a straight face? 2 blocks up is a reoccurring cliff, along with slaver's paraphernalia, along with the ordinary panhandler, along with ethnic parade history, along with the ethnic parade, along with 13th graders. But let's talk about the fact that 4 dead children later, I still don't have a problem beating you up in front of everybody. Let's talk about the fact that money is death. Down to my last $5 is what I call this shoot. 10 o'clock political education is what I call this dream. I got the job is what I call this blues. 2 days later is what I call a cliff. If you reverse the car any farther, you will run over all the scenes in the back of your mind. Man, I never cared for teachers, just the patterns of their fainting spells. Fainting spells induced by water. All I'm trying to say is propaganda is courage. The price sticker hides my tattoo. I treasure my problem with the world. That's a proverb around these parts. A peasant entrance password, writing short notes to famous Europeans on the back of postcards with ransom requests. They reply with a newsreel, a cigarette announcement. I can't tell the difference. No more dollars than you die inside, but only inside. They call it sleeping deeper than your stalker, and stalkers all that badge makes you, says a great spirit dressed in the bloody rag tuxedos became. Hey, meanwhile, my punch is feared by no one. Proud of yourself, I ask my fret and porch lights is what they call our guns. I've seen this house in a dream. I believe a trumpet was the first possessed object to fly. And keep going, see cheers, the draft in the room becomes a toddler. Toddler obsessed with an altar, the altar becomes a runaway train. I mean, I got 1,000 paintings like these cascading down my skinny arms. Dictionaries piled up to the window bars. A reminder to the population that your blanket can work with or against you. A human reef. We'll be a big human reef of concepts that finally gain a metaphysical nature, and they will swim around our beautiful poses. We stopped being flashbacks and stopped being three different people. Then I was alone. The pistol 1 city away. One of the drug triangles lines runs through my head. I tap the bottle twice and consider the dead refreshed. Say, don't you want to rest your bravery? Don't you want to be a coward for a little bit? Back and forth to a panic attack with no problems, more fears. A man gets a facial expression. Finally, a Friday finally goes his way. His life is finally talked about happily in his head. I can't possess the body of a hermit. I must be the last of the smoke now running the other way with 3 blocks of alley tucked under my arms. You ever see a man get to the bottom of his soul in a car ride down a missing cousin street? Half step to the right. I took the whole car outside of history. Half step to the right. A whole pack of wolves step to my left. Road markers, what I call the light bulb we had for a son. A whole civilization might swing to the sink or a chain gang shuffling next to a sucker, also known as the lone look in the mirror. A stack of money starts talking from 4 cities away.
Because we were our head down long. Oh, we got to find a way. We got to find a way to bring some love in here to stay. Well, pick your line and pick a sign. Don't punish me with brutality. Just talk to me and we will see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on?
Once again, Manny Berry on vocals and keys there with us. Looks like we have time for one more song. Is that right, Cats? Yeah, it looks like we have time for one more song, something like that. So we want to thank you again so much for tuning in and listening and checking us out. And yeah, please check out Noise, the record store. That's my shop out in San Francisco. Check out Tongo's books, please. And folks got their albums. Grant's got albums out. All these cats are doing regular gigs where they're happening. So online now is the best way to find everybody, right? Vincent De Jesus on the bongo. Genius Wesley on drums. Tiny Lindsey on bass. Tongo Eisen-Martin. Grant Levin. Manny Berry. Big thanks to Sessions at the Bauhaus. I'm Danny Brown. And yeah, here we go. Where's your tempo, bro?
the funeral in the garage, but I think he was long gone. A narrator on distant rooftops smoking with new friends. From beyond the visual skyline, serious footwork can be seen, especially when loose acquaintances look at the candles and flowers with opera violence on their minds. Introducing you to the colony when the concrete was in its prime and not for shuffles. 2 different days shared the same daylight. No, we slow walk from the corner store into a flashback, dust doing most of the talking about weird wars on the streets and whoever's fixing the drinks tonight. Whoever is must be suicidal. There's a chessboard underneath these tough guys. From beyond the vigils, jungle is the easy side of autobiography. A pretty interesting place to start a war from. Hey, front yards are for having problems with the world. It's an easy range for the angel of everything under the sun. That's right, I can cut my throat with the sun. Hold your breath on my street if that's what you've always done. I'll tell you what his eyes say. They say all dust eventually has to be human. In his pockets is winter already. Knuckled and wrist and Simon street green letters, here lies and half asleep young skin tattered. Page 1. All staircases are open, Aaron will be the first to talk at the port, so will it? Page 2, just pieces of subtitle, mouth talk last. Page 3, someone's dead already, someone has taught him a sign. Page 4, every system is suicidal, the port, so will it? Bus loops its route, last stop already. Hey, let me sleep again. It's all staircase here, and I remember when we were eye to eye with the lowest brands, crying breath into the hand of an avenue. Our shirts made somewhere in the land of first hand. Trash wasn't yet. Trash running away, really wasn't running away. Shoes were witnessing informal prayer, something like, I know you see me, what should I call you? I'll never be anything you need to forgive. And we've been to heaven years ago. Heaven becomes our street shoulders, which are his, which is a homegrown cadence on the city bus, rubber and brief eyes. He was the saint of strays, you know. The first story you learned in San Francisco. Moving with Slider Street, which is his, my little brother slides. The smoke says still, I talk facing away from the dead. They replace me with the change in my pocket, a penny that's yet to be invented. They say you have to know how to cut a throat on the way to cut a throat. After sleeping on a mattress made from 2 garbage bags of clothes, I became content with the small gestures of plantation fires. Playing with couch ashes, I realized how weird the universe was. It exists in so many places, so many random things. It interrupts me while I'm trying to dream.
Thank you very much. Noise All Stars featuring Tongo Eisen-Martin. And next week, Secret Sidewalk. Yeah.
Yeah.